I'm Sonic, a little ball of super energy in an extremely handsome package.
Hello everybody, Megazard X here, and for today I am going to be reviewing the Sonic movie. Now, before I get any further along within this review for the movie, I wanted to say that this is going to be a spoiler-free review over the movie. So I'm just going to give like my overall thoughts and impressions of what I thought about the movie as a whole without any spoilers, as well as like my movie experience, like, you know, the audience reaction and stuff like that. Just all the different things that sort of kind of factored in the overall movie experience for the Sonic movie though. Well, without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight up into this though. So I got to say, you know what? I went and saw this movie on February the 15th. So on that Saturday after the Friday, whenever it originally launched. And I got to say, man, oh goodness, just sitting in there and just seeing, you know, just the opening moments of the Sonic movie. I ain't going to say what it is though, but instantly, right off the bat, if you're a Sega fan, if you grew up playing the Genesis, the Mega Drive, or the Saturn, or anything else that Sega dropped, man, there was, oh goodness, that was like some fan service right from the get-go, something that I really did appreciate with that as well, though. And I went to go see this movie with my cousin and stuff, so, you know what, I honestly, I felt like I probably had like a better overall experience than him. And I do want to point this out that, yes, I do feel like the movie is more so geared to people that either have grown up playing Sonic games or if you're a kid, because if you're not within like the sort of kind of Sonic fan base, or you know exactly who Sonic is, or if you're not just like a kid just trying to look for a good movie to watch at the movie theaters, then I feel like this movie might not, so to say, be in your best interest. You might still find some good things about it though, but you know, the primary audiences for this is, you know, Sonic fans as well as, you know, kids going out to go see this movie though. And I gotta say, at first I'm just gonna talk about Jim Carrey's role within the movie though, as he got to play Dr. Robotnik, and I got to say, for him portraying this character, man, he did an excellent job. I really enjoyed the take that he did over the role of Dr. Robotnik and everything else he put on the table, you know, some of the different lines that he had, and the sort of kind of comedy, and the way how he kind of took in the character, and he sort of kind of understood what Dr. Robotnik is and some of the goals that he wanted to achieve, and even seeing some of the stuff that we basically got within interviews and the different things that he said, talking about him playing this role. I just knew that instantly, you know what, Jim Carrey was going to do a phenomenal job within his role, though. And yes, definitely, you know, the major things that were holding up this movie was Jim Carrey's performance for Dr. Robotnik, as well as Ben Schwartz voice acting for Sonic himself, though. But overall, I really enjoyed this 90s take on Dr. Robotnik as a whole, though. He had that sort of kind of super cocky, sort of kind of arrogant vibe that we normally kind of see within the different Sonic games, or such as like the modern Sonic games that we've been recently getting throughout the years though. And I definitely felt like he sort of kind of portrayed that goal to a T. And then looking at Ben Schwartz's job of what he did with voicing Sonic, I will say, you know, the voice is a little bit different, but it still was sort of kind of reminiscent of the fact that, you know what, even though I knew the voice actor was different compared to, you know, the voice actor that we have now that plays, you know, modern Sonic within most of the recent games we've been getting, he still had that Sonic vibe about him though. So I want to say kudos for him. I thought he did a really excellent job portraying him. And with Sonic as a whole in this movie, it's definitely not our super confident, super heroic Sonic. No, this is an origin movie to a T. And with the origin movie, you know, basically, you know, the movie kind of starts off, it sort of kind of, I liked how the fact of the matter, they gave a little background context to Sonic, and it sort of kind of established the foundation of who Sonic is and what his character and personality was like, because it was more so like he was more so kind of childish than what we sort of kind of expect within the games nowadays. And I thought it was really good, nice, unique take. Like, it wasn't like the Sonic that we all like know as well, like the super confident hero kind of thing, but it allowed us to kind of establish a new kind of Sonic that they're sort of kind of putting to the side and saying, you know what, for the movie point perspective, we're gonna have Sonic go this route as compared to just doing a straight carbon copy, and we already know him as a hero based upon the game. So that was something I really liked that was super unique about this though. Now, one of my few complaints about the movie as a whole though is the matter of fact that, you know what, the really good parts of the movie was definitely the first part. Like, if you were to split this into three different parts, like the first, the middle act, and the end act, the first act and the end act or the best parts of the movie though, but there was a little bit of slog right in the middle, as you can sort of kind of see if you've been keeping up with the Sonic movie in terms of all the different previews they've been dropping out. There's sort of kind of a little bit like a road trip segment in the movie, and that was probably the part that sort of kind of slowed down the pace just a little bit. And you know what, it was one of those kind of things that I was like, I kind of want to get back to the sort of kind of action or some of the good stuff that they've been really doing super well within the movie itself though. But that was like my only little hindrance thing though. And one other thing I wanted to note out was, a matter of fact, that with most origin stories, with origin stories, you basically establish the character at the very beginning, give a little background context. They go a little bit further into the movie, they run into a little hiccup, a little obstacle, they might have a little internal conflict within themselves, or an external little bit of conflict with the other members that they're sort of kind of associating with, and then they come to a good conclusion of, hey, we patched things out, and then, to try to be the hero at the end. I will say that the Sonic movie was a little bit formulaic. Like, you sort of kind of gotten a general sense of, how the movie would basically pan out. And, with most origin movie films, generally, for the most part, it's going to follow that down to a T. So that was like my only little bit of a small little complaint, because even my cousin, the one I got to watch the movie with, he sort of kind of noticed that it was a little bit formulaic. So you can sort of kind of predict what was going to happen throughout the length of the film though. So that was one little bit of a hiccup hindrance, at least for me, while I was watching the movie though. And I will say, in terms of the comedy for the movie, oh my goodness, man, the audience reaction within this movie was insane. There was a lot of things, from visual stuff to words that they said. It was nice little mix, and they had little good references to the Sonic fan base. And if you're a really good Sonic fan, you're gonna pick up these things the moment they either say it or show it up on the screen though. And there was just a lot of moments where the audience just broke out laughing, and I couldn't hold myself back on a couple or a few things they either shown or said throughout the movie though. So if you're a definite hardcore Sonic fan, you're gonna pick these out without any trouble throughout the movie though. So I thought they did a really good job at sort of kind of balancing out the humor though, and what Jim Carrey did with Dr. Robotnik and the stuff that he was saying as well though, it got me to laugh and chuckle a few times though. So I thought the comedy in this movie was pretty balanced and pretty well spaced out though. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about in this movie was the fact of the matter that, obviously, besides Dr. Robotnik and Sonic, which were the two biggest factors within this movie that sort of kind of make that, hey, this is still a Sonic movie, was the fact of the matter of all the different people with the different roles they had. Because Sonic originally existed within his home world, and he got brought into the human world. And that's the one other thing that sort of kind of felt a little bit iffy for certain fans, was a matter of fact that, there was a lot of different scenes within this movie that it just showed a bunch of this, standard human characters. And, that's probably some of the parts where the film sort of kind of suffered just a little bit, because there were some moments where I sort of kind of felt like, I was like, man, I kind of want to see Sonic again, or I kind of want to see Dr. Robotnik again, just to sort of kind of remind myself that this is a Sonic movie, because those were the only two, original characters that were basically, from the Sonic series that we know about though. So that was one little upsetting thing. And I do want to say this, the matter of fact that I don't even know how many times that we managed to get certain movies with certain adaptations, whether it be games or whatever though, where you have like an alien race or something like that. They always go with the term alien or whatever though, and they're always having a team up with a cop scenario though. Now James Marsden, who played Tom in the film, I thought he still did a really good job though, but it's just a little thing just within the script itself or in the plot itself. The matter of fact that we always have to do this sort of kind of team cop situation where the hero that we have, or the protagonist that we have in this movie, is always with a cop scenario. I felt like that's a little bit saturated to a T at this point with all the different kind of movies that we've been getting recently though. But that was just like one of my other little hindrances though. But no knock to him. I think he did an excellent job with the role that he did though, and James Marsden did a really good job within this movie though, given the fact of how the plot was shaped out though. I also want to point out and say thanks to all of the people and the animators that were were basically around Sonic's design. As we know, originally when they first showed that original preview trailer for Sonic, the fact of the matter that he had that really bad, ugly looking design that didn't really look like Sonic, and you know, the fans sort of kind of raged about it though. I'd say congrats to all of the animators that put in that hard work in terms of being able to redesign Sonic. And the fact of the matter that they basically took a hit and said, you know what, because this movie was originally supposed to release in 2019, and the matter of fact, they were able to push that date back, managed to get all the work done with the redesign, and be able to release this movie out on Valentine's Day of 2020. I just want to say, you know, thanks for all the people that were working on that though, because you know what, honestly, I just sitting here and just thinking about the matter of fact that how sort of kind of mixed this movie would have been if we still would have had that old original Sonic movie design. Now I still sort of kind of want to see it just in context to see, you know, how it would have shaped up compared to what we actually got within this though. But I say, you know what, all the different CGI scenes that we had within this Sonic movie, it was really good. They made a ton of different references with the actual games and the way how, you know, Sonic kind of fought Dr. Robotnik as well though. And there was just multiple different teases and little Easter eggs just throughout the film that I know a lot of Sonic fans will be able to pick up. You know, certain things were named or certain scenarios and other things of that nature though. So overall, what I thought about this movie, I thought it was a solid movie. I didn't think it was, you know, the best movie in the world, and it was certainly not the worst movie in the world though. But I do feel like, you know, video game adaptations in terms of them getting movies, I think is on the upward trend, because if you think back to old movies such as, you know, the Mortal Kombat movie or the old Mario movie, you know, those really had really bad representation in terms of how they adapted those into films though. So I think we're finally out of the bad video game movie curse that we've been sort of kind of been stuck up in though. But if I were to rate this movie on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll have to definitely give it a very good solid 7. And I felt like it did a lot of things good, but you know, there was a lot of, you know, a little bit of things I sort of kind of had hiccups with that I talked about in this review though. But overall, you know what, this is a really good fun film, and if you're definitely a Sonic fan, and if you're definitely a kid or something like that, you're really gonna enjoy this film though. But for most general audiences, if you don't know a thing about Sonic, then this movie isn't gonna be able to resonate with you as much as compared to Sonic fans or kids as well though. And I will say this, there is a mid-credit scene towards the end of the movie, so if you want to know about that, don't get up anywhere. The credits were really good and they really look super clean. You got to stick around for that though. But that mid-credit scene, oh gosh, it was super good. Something I wasn't really expecting though. But make sure to stay tuned for that movie in order to get that though. But based upon the stuff that happened within that mid-credit scene, it does leave a lot of fans to hope and think that yes, there may be sort of kind of works within the future of them being able to do a sequel to the Sonic movie. So overall, I'm super excited and stoked about that though. And man, the fan reaction to that though, oh my goodness, yeah, my theater was rocking when that moment happened. Everybody was like, ooh wee, can you believe it? But oh my gosh, yeah. So overall, you know, the Sonic movie, it was a fun good solid film for me to be able to sit there and watch all of that stuff. I really had a good blast sitting there just seeing, you know, Sonic fully being realized on the big screen like that. It was really unforgettable experience though, and something I'm really looking forward to in the future if, you know, they actually decide to, you know, make sequel films to this movie further down the road though. But that is about it in terms of my review though. But let me know down in the comment section down below, what all did you think about this movie? Have you already seen it? Let me know down in the comment section below what all you thought about the movie in a non-spoiler sort of kind of fashion, so you know, you don't spoil others that may be watching this video around this time though. And yeah, so that about does it for this review though, for the Sonic movie though. So if you really like this video, make sure to hit that like button, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and that bell to keep up to date on all things video game related on my channel as well though. So that about does it. So remember y'all, until whatever video I make next, see y'all.